This is exciting because I think we can actually talk about your movie a little bit. I feel like I'm usually talking to you about movies you can't say anything about.
That's very true.
This must be a new experience for you.
That's very true. Yeah, it is. It's weird. It's weird, and people are still trying to ask me about the movies I can't say anything about.
So 21 Bridges is the movie.
Right.
Congratulations, man. So you're starring in this one. You produced this one.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit about where this came. This is the first post-Black Panther acting choice for you.
Right.
You know, new opportunities have been growing in the last couple of years. Why was this one the one to put your muscle behind, to put your time and energy into?
Well, one, the Russo Brothers were very opportunistic. They came up to me at the Infinity War premiere. Maybe they offered it to me because they felt bad about killing me off.
Survivor guilt. Yeah. The upside is
like,
we got another movie for you.
I want to offer you something else.
Exactly.
So they came to me and were like, we had this movie we want you to do. We're gonna make an offer in the next couple of days. Yeah. I read the script. I was like, oh yeah, I kind of like this. I felt like it still needed some work. I met with the director, and we hit it off. I felt like he was somebody that I could trust, I could work with, and I liked the concept of a movie, the idea of shutting down the city to find these cop killers. I did feel like a real sense of New York when I read it, and I lived in New York for years, right. So that sort of pulled me back into it. My being homesick in some sort of way.
Did the script or the production remind you of any films that you grew up with? Were you guys striving for anything? Or
I wouldn't necessarily say striving for any other type of film because you don't want to get stuck in that.
Sure.
But yeah, like I think films like Heat were that there's two sides in this film. You are watching the guys who are running away, you're watching the guys who are chasing.
Right.
And I knew that both of those sides needed to be strong, so that's why Heat was one of the ones that really stuck with me. LA Confidential. Mm-hmm. Those are the type of movies that sort of spoke to me and that I watched continuously while doing this.
It makes sense too, given the casting that you've done in this film, because like on both sides of the relationship, you've got some sizable acting talent throughout. Right. Did you point the producers and director towards anyone in particular?
Oh, I pointed.
You were like, I got some ideas.
I definitely.
Who were your ideas?
I did more than that. Definitely had conversations about every actor that was there, that's in our cast. Really pushed for Sienna Miller, and who was also the director's first choice, and Stephan James. For me, I knew. Just from watching his work previously, knew Barry Jenkins and had heard how great his work was going to be in Beale Street. So I was telling the producers, I was like, no, this is the guy.
Yeah.
Like this is the guy we need to cast. And so really pushed them to go in that direction. And I think they are very much satisfied with that choice.
Talk to me a little bit about the research that goes into something like this and also shooting it in New York, especially given that you're doing all this in the months after presumably Black Panther hit. Is that tough to not get people recognizing you? And I mean, are there a lot of Wakanda Forever moments in the midst of ride-alongs?
Oh my gosh, shooting anywhere is like a problem because I remember like I don't even want to give you specific spots, but definitely like you're shooting on the street and you look above and people are like doing this at you. And calling out your name, speaking in African accents, doing all sorts of things like that. You're like, this is a different movie, okay? Yeah. Like that's all happening,
That's a good. It's a byproduct. It's a problem.
It's a good problem.
Yeah, exactly. Growing up, what was your relationship attitude about cops?
Not necessarily a good one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's one where I've been harassed. I've been pulled over for no reason. I've had 5 or 6 cops show up for my headlight being out. Right. Protested against police brutality incidents. Like so, I have a love-hate relationship. The other side though is one of my dad's best friends was a cop growing up.
Got it.
And I remember him coming over to the house and playing games with him and riding his car. So I have that experience as well.
Right.
So I think that is part of what is compelling about the movie is because I have both of those experiences. I have the experience of the cop that is the community person that could be friends with my dad, who also has those same conflicts.
Sure.
Then I have my teenage,
Right.
college, adult life experiences.
Still happening? What's the last one that
Well,
those that
you
happened?
talking about now?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, no,
now
you never
cops
know.
escort me.
Yeah, it's a different relationship. You never know.
They escort me. But what's funny is if there's a situation where because I'm the type of person that when I'm not in the limelight or not,
in an
being
environment
seen,
like this, sure,
I can disguise myself. I'm an actor.
Yeah.
I can disguise myself. There have been situations where people don't know who I am, where it's like, oh, I'm just like everybody else, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Actually, because I don't ever want to get removed from the realities of what my people go through.
Sure. Talk to me a little bit about you producing this one, and as I said, sort of like starting to reap the rewards of being a part of something like the Avengers and Black Panther. What's the priority for you right now in terms of steering your own career and providing opportunities for other people?
Well, I think this is an example. Like, Stefan's character didn't have to be black.
Right.
We pushed for that because we thought it was the best storytelling.
Yeah.
And I pushed for that because I felt like he was the best actor, and I think it adds a certain element to the movie that you wouldn't have some of the commentary that could happen if he wasn't cast. And as an extension to that, I think the other work that I want to do is being able to tell stories that have not been told. Not necessarily good and bad guys, but anti-heroes,
sure,
complicated characters, because I feel like our audiences have to grow, and that aesthetic has to continue to change and progress. All of that is definitely part of the stuff that I want to do, and it's reflected in the things that I have in the queue.